Hi, my name is Claire Gallagher and I am founder and managing director of Concept Confections. And today I'd like to do a short demonstration on a sweet raspberry ganache truffle. Today I am supporting the Northern Food and Drink Virtual Festival. So it's a brand new event for 2020 to support and showcase Northern producers, distributors and some of the great chefs within the region in these difficult times. So yeah, my name is Claire, as I said, and I run Concept Confections, which is a consultancy business and it specialises in the area of patisserie, chocolate and confectionery. So I do anything from product development, innovation, problem solving, scale up from kitchen recipes to manufacturing recipes and anything in between, so problem solving, as I said. So aside that, I'm also the development director for Freaks of Nature. So Freaks of Nature is a plant-based dessert company based in Wakefield, and we produce fabulous desserts that are pretty much allergen free. So we are a vegan, plant-based business. We're also gluten-free as well. So it's very interesting in these times developing in this area to support again you chefs out there to remove some of the headache of trying to satisfy all the customers with different allergies, etc. So we try to have a one-stop solution in creating products that are fit for all, that taste delicious into the bargain. And aside from that, I'm also on a little project, I say on a little project, I'm running a project around two areas that I love the most, and that is chocolate and Donegal on the west coast of Ireland. So really I am creating chocolate bars and really they're going to be influenced by the west coast of Ireland. It's the Wild Atlantic way. And so this is in its very early stages at the moment, but hopefully around Christmas time those in Donegal and on the west coast will be able to taste some delicious delights from me. So today I am going to do a raspberry truffle ganache. So the raspberry truffle ganache is going to be water based, so rather than cream based. So water based. So the benefits of it being water based is it gives the ganache a much smoother mouthfeel. It gives it a richer, more intense flavour with the raspberries through it. Because the fat from the cream normally masks these flavours, and into the bargain it's lower in calories. So what I'm going to do is I am going to first create a raspberry reduction. So this is really driving off some of the moisture to intensify the flavour. So what I've got here is some raspberries, and what we have here is a little bit of sugar. And I'm just going to reduce them down over on the stove over here. And what I've actually done is I did prepare some earlier. So this is the raspberry reduction here. So it's reduced by about 50% to intensify the flavour. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pop this into the pan. And I've also got water and glucose syrup here. So the water and the glucose syrup are key. So I'm just going to heat this up. So one thing to bear in mind is that water does not mix with chocolate. However, if you alter the consistency of water, it will. And so we're altering it with glucose. So making a syrupy solution. I'm going to heat this through. So yeah, by changing the consistency of the water, it will then bind well with the chocolate. So I have some dark chocolate ready here, and what we have is dark chocolate. We've got our liquids on simmering now, and in essence it's around 51% dark chocolate. You can use around 60-65% cocoa solids in the dark chocolate. There is 11% glucose, 25% raspberry reduction, and 13% water. So what I am just waiting for is this little gem to come up to the heat. We don't want it to boil because we don't want to scorch the chocolate either. So hopefully, you know, I'll just get it to about 60-70 degrees, pour it over, and then start to kind of melt it through into the lovely dark chocolate. Bear with. So that should be just about right. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to pour this across the chocolate. It smells delicious. And then I'll just push this out of the way. And then we're just going to mix that in. And you can see it's kind of looking a little split out there, but it's okay. A little bit more chocolate. And we'll work this to get a nice texture. Oops. Work this to get a nice texture. My lovely assistant's just going to get me a cloth to wipe up that chocolate. Thank you, Emma. Thank you. And we're just working to melt that down into a lovely smooth ganache. Once all of the chocolate is melted into it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to blitz it. So in essence, I want to emulsify the chocolate. I want to ensure that all of the cocoa butter, the cocoa solids, the sugars are all absolutely thoroughly mixed, and that the entire mix is a balance. So I'm just going to do that now, and just do this for a wee minute. Let's see here. It's all coming together beautifully now. You've got a nice sheen on it. So we're going to do one of two things with this now. So we can let it set gently. It's a little similar to allowing chocolate to temper. The slower that you set this, the smoother it will be. So if it can be set in basically just in a cool area without it going into the fridge, it would set softer. However, it would give you a beautiful mouthfeel. Normally it would take about 24 hours. So you could do that, or you could pipe it directly into shells, so chocolate shells for truffles. So hopefully, just bear with me. Just see how lovely and smooth that is now. There's a few air bubbles in it, but that's not a concern. So normally I'd wrap, I'd kind of cover this off, surface it. That means just putting the cling film directly on the surface so that there's no moisture that's going to go back into it. But for today, I've got one here that I made earlier. So what I'm going to do now is, that has been set now for some time. So all we're going to do is take that mixture. I'm just going to pipe out some lovely tubes. So here we go. You can see just how smooth it is. Absolutely lovely. Let's just pull this further down. to put the nozzle in. We'll make some bigger tubes. Bear with me. So yeah, I forgot to put the nozzle in. So what we'll do is we'll just make some larger tubes. To be fair, still not too bad to say that there's no nozzle in the bag. And what I'm going to do with these as well is I'm just going to put some lovely little raspberry crunchies on top just to give it a lovely little crispy texture. And I'll do this and then I'll move this away because there's some I prepared earlier. There we go. So what I have now is some that I did prepare earlier, and as you can see I did use the nozzle earlier on. What I'm going to do next is I'm just going to get some chocolate that I've had tempered. So I've got a dark chocolate and tempered the dark chocolate. Basically the tempering, took it up to 55, so the dark chocolate, and basically brought it down to around 30, seeded it up to 31, ready to use. So I'm going to get that now. I'm just going to put it onto the sheet of acetate as I do it. So all you're going to do is, after it's set for a while, use gloves. Is just get some nice dark tempered chocolate, do one coat, let it set. By the time you get to the end of doing about 10 or 12, if it's tempered well, it should allow you to do a second coat. 2 coats will be needed because the ganache itself is very soft, intentionally very soft, just to give that luxurious mouthfeel. And you need to ensure that it's all encased inside the lovely dark tempered chocolate. So hopefully you can see this. So I'm just going to do a few. Let's have a look. I'll tell you what, we'll do 5. It smells lovely. And then what we'll do. So after 2 coats, you should leave it just to set and temper. I can see already that the first coat is pretty much set. So on that, I'm just going to put a second coat, and having a little bit of texture around it. Don't handle it too much, but what you can do is, if you've got a little bit of acetate, is just roll it around and it just gives it a lovely, lovely texture to the truffle. Just little spikes and detail. And they're just lovely little handmade truffles. Okay, so I did already prepare some earlier. So what we have here is, this is the truffles that I prepared earlier. So I'll move this out of the way, because all I've done is just finish them off with a little bit of bronze dusting, and that's it. That, in essence, is it. So this is the end result. I don't know if you can zoom in on that a little bit, Emma. This is the end result. And also I did some filled molds, so tempering some molds coating them with a lovely sort of raspberry blush colour, and this is what we have here. So I will cut one open just so that you can have a wee look. And there we have it, raspberry truffle ganache. Thank you. Have a good day.